Hi guys. As you well know, this TMZ doco came out yesterday, and I live in Australia, and we can't get Hulu here, so blah, 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 blah. But I've picked many clips out of other people's stories, and let's just look into this doco. Now, it was pretty lame. I saw bits, and I was like, this just seems like they've put all the TMZ stories over the past few years together and just patched them in there. Everyone's saying that Sam works for TMZ. Everybody's like blowing up that it was the worst thing ever. Now, I didn't see them say bad things. They seem to say pretty nice things about Britney. And considering what we see on Instagram, I think they were quite kind. And a lot of people are going to hate me for that. That's okay. This is just my opinion, and you don't have to get upset with it, because we're all allowed our opinions, aren't we? Now, when Sam spoke out the day before the doco saying he's disgusted, don't believe anything in the media, 99% of it is not true. Well, that is interesting. Why would he say that when the doco came out and was pretty nice to him and Britney? Yes, it said that she has mental illness and she is awake for days and she sleeps for days, but that could just be depression, couldn't it? Bipolar. But I don't understand why Sam was so furious, considering they actually put him in a very kind light. So I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit discombobulated. But let's just have a look at what Charles says. You know, he's the managing boss of TMZ. Take it away, Charles.
You know, Andy, it's not so much about it being wild, but I will say it is very eye-opening. And I think it's an important thing to look at because, look, for better or worse, the Free Britney movement was very vocal and I think very instrumental in this conservatorship going away 18 months ago. They made it a big issue, her fans. She spoke out for herself in court, and the conservatorship ended. This special tonight is not looking at the conservatorship or whether it should have happened or not. It's more about what has been going on in her life in the 18 months since then. You know, what obviously the major change for Britney is that for those 13 years, there were other people who were making all the important life decisions for her, about her finances, about her career, about her medical treatment, her kids. Those decisions were made for her. And now suddenly, as soon as the conservatorship ended, now that's all on her plate.
That's what I said in my video. The last video I made on Britney, I said, you got to understand that someone who's been imprisoned in their house, in their life, their career, every move they make for the last 13 years, they're going to have institutionalized problems. As I said, when a prisoner is in prison for over 10 years, they are severely institutionalized, and it's very difficult to reassimilate back into society. And I believe that. So now she has the freedom, and a lot of people are like, she's not free, she's not free. Well, to me, she looks like someone that's free with the stuff that she's putting up on Instagram. She doesn't look like someone that's a lucid thinker, and she doesn't look like someone that is trapped, because why is she putting up this madness every day? Why is she just dancing for days on end and spinning in circles? I mean, that makes sense to me. A lot of people are like, no, she's still imprisoned. It's like, well, what media company is going to be allowing her to post that? You tell me. If a media company was allowing the Princess of Pop to post those things on Instagram every day, dancing and spinning in circles every day, then they're not going to get any other clients. They really aren't, because it looks shocking. Let's have another listen to what happened in this horrible documentary.
And that's a lot for anyone to deal with. But the key thing here is that Britney is not just anyone. She is someone who is living with a mental illness. And look, we've spoken to a lot of people who say that on some days she's great, and it almost seems like, you know, the Britney of old. But on a lot of other days, there are struggles, and there are levels of this. Some things that aren't really that big of a deal, and others that do get more serious. For instance, you know, her marriage to Sam Asghari, which everyone saw as like a great moment for her, something she said she wanted to happen while the conservatorship was in place, and then it ended. They had this great wedding. Things have been a little rough as of late around their house, and in fact, we're told that Sam isn't there living in the house most of the time, and that's because they've had a lot of very heated arguments, things that have gotten physical, where Britney has gotten physical with Sam, and that's that security guards have had to step in between them at times. So they're going through something now, and look, obviously everyone hopes that they can work it out, but it is a just another aspect of Britney's life that she now suddenly has to deal with, and Sam has to deal with also. Of course, he knew that going in.
So how do you take that? Sam hasn't come out today trashing the doco, has he? He's pretty happy with what they said. A lot of us don't believe that this marriage is real, that he is her carer. That could be a very big option. But the thing is, he's not living with her, and we know that because he's constantly on set, away. He's never in the same house as Britney. We don't see photos with himself and Britney anymore. So I don't understand why people are so furious. Sam is trying to help her. Sam is a very fit guy. He's into fitness. He wouldn't be happy that his wife is not taking medication that she needs to stay stable. Because when he met her, she was on medication and she was stable. When the conservatorship ended, she went off her meds. And I don't know what she started taking, whether she was abusing, the ADD drug, or whether she was abusing street drugs. I don't know. But to say that she sleeps for days and is awake for days, I don't believe coffee can achieve that, or Red Bull. It has to be something a little bit stronger, don't you think? I've watched all the videos of all the Free Britney people, and they were all just absolutely slamming this doco. But it's like, why was it that bad? Was it really that bad? I don't think so, but that's just me. And oh my God, people are going to say, you love TMZ. Well, I don't believe any media outlet 100%, whether it's the nightly news, whether it's TMZ, I just don't. And that is how media is. You take what you want to believe, but to trash the whole thing is a little bit crazy. You've got doctors on there. They're going to risk their doctor license in saying stuff? Really? Okay. Well, you guys do you, I'll do me. But let's look at the next part, which is where they talk about her kids.
Britney hasn't seen her sons, 17-year-old Sean Preston and 16-year-old Jaden, in well over a year. By the end of last summer, tensions between them had gotten so bad, the boys weren't even responding to her texts, and she was furious.
Recently, there have been occasional texts between Britney and her kids, so maybe the ice is thawing a bit.
They love their mother, and they hope that the relationship will improve going forward so that everyone's comfortable. But right now, that is a dynamic that doesn't seem to be in existence.
We're pretty certain she hasn't seen her sons because she loved posting photos of her doing things with her sons, like she is here. 2021, went hiking with the boys, and yes, we have not seen a single photo. And we've seen documentaries where they talk about how sad they are that they can't see their mum. So something is definitely up. And I don't know why you want to trash a whole doco when this guy at the end just said, hopefully it can get better. Hopefully the ice is thawing out. It's like, why are people so angry at that? Like, I think that was a good thing to say, but then no, a lot of people hate that guy that spoke at the end. And, it's like, I don't understand why Free Britney people hate every media outlet and only believe their own jargon. It's like, do you guys see how crazy you seem? Because you only believe what each other say. You don't believe any news outlets, but then again, you'll go and watch the news and see what happened today. And that, to me, is irony, because you can't just not believe everything. You got to believe some things, because they can twist it and turn it to make it seem different, but there is something up. We have not seen her with her sons. We haven't seen her post anything about her sons. When she came out of the conservatorship, she was putting up horrific posts about her sons and really being furious at them. So I'm like, hey, you gotta take some of this in as some truth. But then again, all the free Britney people hate anyone that talks about her that's not in their community. And that is why I'm heavily hated. I get it. But it's like, at some point, you guys need to realize that where there's smoke, there's fire. Go and look at her Instagram like I do. I've looked at a lot. I've seen enough to realize that this lady, Britney Spears, is not doing as well as people think. We don't really know why, but you could take a good guess, couldn't you? If your brother or sister was acting like this, you'd be like, hey, what are you doing every day dancing in the foyer of your house? Why are you doing this? But no, because it's Britney, it's all a ruse, it's all a lie, because she's imprisoned. It's like, I don't believe that. I believe something's up. You feel me? You dig? This is a very, very serious video from me today, because I just am tired of people bagging the media. Fake news! Fake news! If it's on Fox, it's fake news. If it's TMZ, it's fake news. It's like, guys, just stop for a second and stop being conspiracy nut jobs and take a little bit in. Even if it's not the whole story, just take a little bit. And by the way, I'm actually allowed to change my opinion. And that does not mean that I've been paid off. It does not mean that I am lying. It's that when you see something long enough, you can change your mind and go, yeah, actually, that's starting to make sense now. I'd like to hear it from Britney Spears' mouth. And I've said that from day one. I find everything hard to believe what the media says, because we never hear her talk about it. And that has always bothered me. So I think if she can't talk publicly, then there is something up. Doesn't that seem logical to you? If she can't talk publicly about all of this, then something's up. If the only videos we see of her talking, she's generally talking in some wacky British Aussie accent, something's up. Like, what? How is that so hard to believe? I don't get it, guys. But something's up. Something's up. You feel me? You dig? Something's up. And that is precisely why I don't believe this memoir that's about to be released that she wrote. I don't believe it. Look, I'm going to be a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe the book was written by her. Because if she is acting the way she does on Instagram, how's she writing books? How come she can't speak in her normal accent? How come all of this has been said? So everything's a lie, and then this book is going to set the record straight. Nah, man, nah. ChatGPT, AI wrote that goddamn book from just different bits that they've pasted together. That's what I think about this book, because I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. And the horse is Britney. I want to see her in an interview. We can take everything with a grain of salt and go, okay, that kind of makes sense. Like, I definitely think she's abusing something, because she doesn't look good. She's not pretty anymore. Her makeup's dripping off her face, and it's not a body double. It is not CGI. I believe sometimes there could be a green screen behind her, because I don't know where she is. I don't think she's even living in the poopy mansion. I think she is actually living in Westlake, like I have from day one, because I don't think she is very well. And why wouldn't all these media outlets get sued the fluff out of them in saying all of this? Oh, okay, right. So they just pay the media outlets to say what they want. It's like, oh, guys, it's so ambiguous. That's why I just want to hear Britney talk. Don't you guys? I just want to hear her. I don't even care if she's talking in a British accent. I just want to hear her talk about all of this. But she doesn't. So, once again, the plot thickens. We know less than we did yesterday. That's all I feel. I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I will see you at the top. Boy! Cheers, ballers!
How it feel, how it feel, feels so real. How it feel, how it feel, how it feel, and that feels so real. How it feel, how it feel.